Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio, and today we've got Sam in the chair. How are you doing, Sam?
Good, thank you.
Good mate, good. So what's the plan? What are we doing today?
So I've come in with a bit of a difficult plan. I think I'm looking for a bit of a transformation, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like I just sort of want to go back to a short haircut. In the summer I had a short haircut and I've sort of left it long for about 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Getting rid of a lot of this fluff around here, taking it up on the back. I think I'll keep the parting at the moment. I've had a bit of a dilemma with where my true parting actually lies. Okay. So often when I go to the barbers, I just sort of stick it in wherever it styles, and then it sort of ends up being there.
So do you know when you go to the barbers, do you go with your hair, like do you not get your hair washed or anything when you walk in?
No.
Oh, so they'll cut it as just you walk in with?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might have put it somewhere it's not meant to be, and then
I just go sort of short back and sides, and they go, yeah, thank you.
Okay, no worries, that's cool. Okay, so parting wise, I'll have to have a look through your hair. It looks as though it's in a similar. It looks as though it's in the right place. I think what's off though is the heavy disconnect. That's what's not making the parting work that well. So you know where you've got like one. If you look to the left, you've got a lot of length. Yeah. That is kind of just hanging over. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's really helping with the parting because it's changing the whole shape of the haircut. You know what I mean? In terms of the style, then. So when you're saying you want a transformation, if we're keeping the parting in, what are we doing different to make it like a transformation? Just out of interest.
Is it? You shot me.
I didn't mean to me. I'm just trying to figure out what's in your head.
For me, it's to be honest, if you wanted to get rid of the parting, I wouldn't mind. It's just sort of something that I've put in just to keep it sort of smart. I'm from Essex, so this is sort of when I haven't washed it and I've got some product in it. It's much better groomed, but I've been in the wind.
So you're open to suggestion on the parting?
Yeah, I'm open to suggestion. If you think something looks better, this is just sort of something I've always done. Okay. And as you can see, like you've pointed out, this is my previous haircut. They've sort of left this long. I think because they struggled with the parting. Where the parting was, yeah. And then this side as well is heavy. So when I haven't washed it and you've got some product in, you can get that back. Whereas as it's got longer, instead of going across, when it doesn't have anything in it, it just pushes forward. Yeah. So I sort of get this look. So then I look like I've actually been in the wind when there's been no wind.
There's been no wind, yeah. Okay, do you want me to tell you what's going wrong at the moment then for you? So with the parting, it's in wherever, obviously you've probably put this parting in differently to where it's been cut in. That's why you're going to have such a difference in length, right? But also what looks like it's happened as well, it's all just been cut horizontally. And then nothing's been kind of graduated into the top bit. So that's why it's sitting almost like in a one big long layer and just sitting on the sides. So it's not going to move back because it's all basically one length. So you're going to struggle with that. Any bit of wind or any bit of movement, it'll fall. How would you feel though about looking for your natural parting and working with that? So maybe not something that is hard parted. What about if it was just something that run your fingers through your hair backwards and it just found its natural parting? I genuinely think that might be a lot easier for you to manage and work with, more than trying to find a parting every day. Because I know how hard that can be. And if you don't get it right, it ruins your whole thing, doesn't it? It ruins your whole look because you're like, oh my God, it doesn't look right. So how about if we cut the top in? So this could be the transformation part, right? If we just cut the top, once it's all wet in a bit, right? Once I've washed it, conditioned it, I'll have a proper look and I'll see where it wants to fall naturally, right? And wherever it wants to fall naturally, I'll emphasize, but I won't cut it into a parting. Because if I cut a parting in, you're screwed. I've got to work. As you know now, right? If you get the parting cut in, you have to wear it that way every single time. And if your hair doesn't want to play ball that morning and you haven't washed it or you don't want to wash it every day or whatever the situation is, you've then got to try and figure it out.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like, Well, you're right. One of my notes I've made is I intend to overstyle because of that parting. I'm sort of just like, okay, now I've got to get a brush and go,
yeah. But then do you find that it looks sometimes worse when you do it?
Yeah, exactly. It's hit and miss. Definitely. Yeah.
If it's not cut in so with a parting, it has to be cut directly in and then styled every single day in that same place. Otherwise, you end up with this kind of situation you've got now where you get like almost like long strands. And there's not, it's probably a perfect side part. It's just not falling into one because you haven't got it right yourself. But that's not, for me personally, I don't want you to struggle with your haircuts. I want you to kind of get it every single time. I'm sure you'll have bad hair days, we all do, but I want to make it a bit easier for you. So the biggest thing we can do today is cut away a parting, right? So we cut the top more uniform, then you decide if it goes in a parting or not. Cool. And you decide where that parting goes each day. Cool. I think that's the best transformation that can happen for you. Cool. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. It can just be changing it around a little bit.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Baby steps, yeah.
Baby steps. Well, I mean, the biggest transformation you do right now is something absolutely drastic, like a crop fringe or a shaved head or
I've been a shaved head before. Okay. I think I'll leave that 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. So. Let's do what we can while we've got the length, but let's change this around. Let us transform your look today without it being like a full-on transformation. Cool. That makes sense, yeah? All right, top sorted then. Back and sides. How short are we getting rid of the fluff?
I would like to, at the back here, I feel like this is just fluff. I'd like to take it, right up.
How short how short would you be up for going, especially towards the edges? Like, or would you still want to keep the length through the sides, or do you want to take that down a bit? What do you want to do? Because I can do anything you want. I could do skin here and here if you wanted to. Like, there's nothing I can't do.
To be honest, hair grows back, and I've always sort of played it safe. So if you wanted to taper it right down, I wouldn't mind.
I think it would look really cool.
If you think it looked cool,
yeah, I do. Maybe doing a 0.5 more than a 0. You know what I mean? Just something that's, maybe not as skin, but something that really shows how tight it is, and it's almost created a whole new look for you.
Go for it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Right. Well, in that case, we'll give it shampoo and condition, and then we'll get started, mate.
Cool.
Sweet. So, Sam's hair is nicely washed and conditioned. Now, I'm going to cut this shape in for him now. So, I'm going to work cross graduation on this one. Let me spin you around. Now, what we're trying to do here, we're going to try and get rid of this undercut, right, to start with, disconnect. So I'm going to take this section just above the round of the head, just above the round of the head, almost into the fringe as well, because I want this to be as seamlessly blended in as possible. To start, we're going to go for a taper through the edges, so I'm going to start by getting shorter here and then building up that weight and get rid of that disconnect. Down to finger length on this one as well, because we're going shorter. Now, by doing this, because we are cutting it in this direction, we are forcing the hair to fall backwards. So by going shorter here, we're getting that nice graduation before we even started clipper work, and just make it a lot easier for him. So Sam, what haircuts have you had in the past then, mate? You said you've had them all. What have you had?
So I think when I was younger, obviously I've got a twin brother.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
it was a bit of a sort of just a matching haircut.
Are we an identical twin?
No.
Okay.
Even though we still had matching haircuts. Had a sort of Justin Bieber look.
Oh yeah.
Sort of like a longish fringe.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's quite self-conscious at that sort of age. I had a bit of acne and a bit of a forehead, so I wanted to have a fringe to hide that. And then lockdown came, and I thought, hair is a bit overrated. So I took one of my razors and decided to shave the entire thing off to the skin. And was like, oh, that's shorter than I thought, and then just went, I can't really go back now, so I took it all off and then knocked on my mum's door and said, I've just cut my hair, and she went, oh.
What did you find hard about the grow out of that? Or what did you find easy about the grow out, should I say? A bit of both?
I liked having it short all over when it was sort of like a mid-length, so there was no fringe, it was just sort of a crew cut almost.
Yeah.
And I quite liked that. And then when the fringe started to grow in, it was quite nice having sort of a short haircut without the parting as well.
Oh, okay.
So it was sort of high on both sides.
The parting has been, and this is no pun intended here, but I feel like though this parting we're talking about has been a part of you from a young age, mate. Because I feel like you were saying about the parting you just then as well. I think the only time you didn't have a parting was probably when you shaved it off, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I think, because a lot of people have partings, and I've always sort of, my dad's always had a parting.
Yeah.
So then I think I just put it in because he had one. And
it's classic, yeah. It's a classic hairstyle, you know. It doesn't go out of fashion, it never has, you know. So yeah, definitely I can see why it's still there.
I think the things the culture I've been exposed to has sort of made me follow it.
Yeah, definitely.
My dad likes Elvis. I've watched a lot of Elvis, a lot of classic things.
Oh wow, nice.
Quite like wearing a suit, to be honest. So that's where the parting's always. My brother's got a big old fringe.
Oh okay.
And it's very thick and curly. It's almost like wild wool. We say to him.
Yeah.
Whereas I've got very, very different hair. Very straight.
You have, very straight, very blonde as well.
Yeah, whereas he's always had this dark curly hair, so he would, he doesn't really look, well, I wouldn't say he doesn't look good in a suit, but I'd always like a suit. I'm quite long. Yeah. Like a long matte coat, that's what I used to wear.
Well, I think, the beauty of this cut that we're going to do today, Sam, is that it's going to allow you to part it still. So I know that's your sort of like your go-to kind of thing, right? So obviously knowing that, I want to make sure you can still do it. But also at the same time, I want you to be able to just wear it in what you call more of a loose parting.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly like a comb straight through. It's more how, if you think of Elvis, it's more how Elvis would have wore it when it was like that kind of like rockabilly element, where it's kind of like just push back and fall into place naturally. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I want to do for you today, mate. But then again, like I said, because we're keeping length throughout the haircut on top, that it's going to still allow you to part the haircut if you want. It's just literally just down to product choice, mate. One guard on, my 1.5, and down the bottom as well. The tape goes up nice and low though, not anything too high, Just something that I can then freehand up. We're still getting that nice sharpness around the edges, just nothing that is going to be unblendable basically. And then just taper out these sides here. So as you can see, what we've done so far, Sam, is we've kept all this length here, but we've changed the haircut around.
Definitely.
Same thing through here now. From the sideburns, finger length. So how, you know, when you're saying about like obviously the partings were making you struggle, you know, to style it every day. What did you find that, like, obviously, you know, when you got it like perfect, like when was it? Was it a day when your hair was like not washed? Was it a day when, you know, you were kind of chilled out? What was it about?
It was often a bit hit and miss. So where the parting was earlier, I feel like from day to day, it could often move a centimetre.
Oh, okay.
Left and right.
Right.
Beforehand, I used to push the hair forward with a big paddle brush.
Right, okay.
And then sort of tip my head like this and sort of find the parting with a comb.
Oh, okay.
And then sort of search online. I sort of, you know, how can I find my natural parting? How can I part the hair better? I started to comb it back instead, take it out. So sort of the last sort of 3 months, I've been quite skilled at it. As the hair got thicker, it was easier.
Yeah.
Because as I would part big chunks of it, it would sort of take the rest of the hair with it. Whereas when it was shorter, which sounds like a bit of a paradox, when it was shorter, I was sort of having to do a bit of the part and then 2/3 of it was sort of a bit of a zigzag. Whereas sort of last year, didn't get it cut in, but I said to the barber, I said, oh, could you find my natural parting?
Yeah, yeah.
Which she sort of attempted, which is sort of where it is now. I want to look good. That might be a bit vain, but who doesn't want to look good?
No, who doesn't want to look good?
Yeah.
I mean, of course we all want to look good, you know. We you know, that's just normal, isn't it, want to look good? But no, I get it, man, I get it. I mean, you told me you're in uni at the moment as well, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think now is probably a good time to experiment with your hair.
Yeah.
While you've not got, like, you know, a job or you know, you might have a job, but like you haven't got a job that's going to be like your career, if that makes sense. I think it's probably a good time to try something new with your hair, see how you get on with it, you know. See if this is the kind of look you want to go for.
Yeah, I could play it safe and do the classic short back and sides and sort of get rid of the parting, but like you say, I want to be a bit more versatile.
Right, so let's cut the top end now to match. So I'm going to lose some length at the top, but it's going to be really, really versatile. Okay?
Cool.
So I'm going to work horizontal sections across the top. So I'm cutting the length to match. I'm dropping it down a touch. I'm maintaining as much length as I can through the top. You can see by working these horizontally down, got a cross graduation at the bottom, and then we're meeting with a horizontal section to the top, so we're going to have all that shape sitting perfectly in the corner. So with very minimal effort, it falls back. But again, as you can see, I'm not cutting apart, and as you see, I'm leaving more length and dropping this down, so as we get to the very top, we're going to be able to have a much more well, much more length in the top, which creates much more versatility. See the difference in the way it falls in? Or just balances straight into the sides, right? So through the back here, wear it diagonally and just over direct this over to one side, like so. Just connect that in. Because this hair wants to go backwards, whereas doing a cross, this allows it to fall and blend. And finally we work through the top. And this is where we connect everything in so it becomes really versatile. A little peek. Very small fringe because it's getting balanced. Dry this off and then point cut into the sides just to take that harsh line out through there, which is the connection. But as you can see, if you bring this back, you can wear it here. You can wear it here.
Yeah.
You can wear it here. You can wear it lower down. That's the beauty of a connection. Do you see what I mean? So you can wear it any way you want. So whatever you do when you wake up in the morning, if you just do this and it falls just off center, like that, just go with it. And then put it back. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
so it just saves all the hassle. When you wake up, just literally blow dry it back and see where it falls. Or you put it in where you want to. Alright? Start by blow drying the sides. Just a nice, easy brush over. Right, just have a feel of your hair. No, it's all been blow dried in. Just feels like that next day, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It feels like it's got a bit of
you know what I mean? You can see the nice shape and the colour and the shine as well. Right, so I'm just going to finish off by point cutting into the sides. So, tilt your head over this way for me. Right, so what do you think of that? Happy?
Yeah, definitely. Sits much better. I think it's equal. Like you say, at the moment it's a blank canvas and I can sort of do what I want with it.
So if you look at that, there's your part in there, but you see the way the sides sit so much more in to the rest of the haircut.
You still got the volume there as well.
Still got the volume, everything else, but look, it can go here. It can be messy and zigzag, so it doesn't have to be like, it can be a little bit less corporate, you know what I mean? You could bring it over this way if you want to have a bit more volume. So you've got a bit more height in there as well. You see it to the side again. That all blends in. So again, it depends on how you feel on the day, how you want to wear it. So how would you like to wear it today? Do you want to wear it a bit more natural and more of a natural pattern, or do you want to wear it in the same pattern you had?
Where would you say the natural? I like where
just,
I like
just there.
I
just
like
exactly
it from there, but then maybe just not as rigid as it was.
A bit more natural. Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay. So a little bit of fibre, work it through hands. The ones I'd always recommend is things that are reworkable, things that don't change the colour of your hair and just give you that little bit of hold, right? So you work this into your hair like that, right? You should work it right into your hair because this is just application, you see. This isn't like styling yet, okay?
Because often I style my hair and then just put the product over the top of it just to hold it, whereas actually it's probably not doing any justice there for the hair, is it?
There we go. So we just go for a bit more of a natural part, just our fingers. Move a couple of sections just over so it looks a little bit more zigzaggy, so it looks a bit more natural, and then bring it back. Slide the sides back like so, and then if you've got a comb, just comb these through so you can see the shape of where we're going with it. And then just finish off with your fingers, just like that. Just get a very nice finger style. That's what you get.
$1 million.
Finish. So everything that we were talking about at the start, we've kind of brought to life.
Definitely.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
Definitely.
With that big chunk of hair at the back there. And it's all
and
nice and tidy.
Grow into it now as well if I
100%
want to.
You can. Yeah, 100%. You can grow all them edges in if you want to. So it all falls in nicely through there. You can keep the length if you want. You can just keep getting a low taper done as well, so you can grow it out. Just be careful what length you keep getting the taper done to. But then that's how the top falls. So you see all them separated layers through there. It all matches in.
I've got to remember these terms: low taper.
Low taper.
Yeah.
That's what you're going for. Low taper. I mean, there's a bit more to it than that. Yeah, but that's essentially what it is. Yeah. Low taper, and then you just see that texture.
Yeah, that part. It's done its job, but it's not. Yeah.
But again, it's not rigid. It doesn't have to be there. It could go all the way back if you wanted it to. Do you know what I mean? But imagine like when you see yourself, the difference is when you see yourself out of the gown, it looks completely different. In a gown, it looks very formal. You just focused on the haircut. When you see yourself in your clothes, it looks completely different, you know. So let me take this gown off you now. So now you see yourself now. Looks a bit more real now, doesn't it? You know. So you happy?
Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you very much, bud. That's good. Thanks, Sam.